In this video, I'm going to cover the best skills for PvE, PvP, and farming. I'm also going to go over what gear and weapons and accessories you're going to want to go for, the best alchemy stones for every situation, relics, lightstones, the best stats. I'm going to cover it all with this in-depth Reaper guide. If this is your first time to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Make sure you check out the description down below for additional badass Blackdesertmobile content. You won't be disappointed. Now, before we get into all the goodies and all the details, I do want to mention that this isn't a perfect build. I am 100% free-to-play player, so sometimes stuff isn't as easy to come by, like my red level 1 helmet up there. Do not judge me. It's failed more times than I can count. Anyways, let's dive right in. Up first, let's talk about stats, which you want to focus on, what I have and what I'm going for. I'm currently at the moment at 30% crit. That is priority. As far as AP, attack power, and DP, defensive power, for a Reaper, you always want AP, attack power, over DP in any situation where you can get it. After that, you have then crit at 30%. Crit hit damage at the max is 215%. If I rock my sushi stone, it's only at 194%, I believe. So I still have some work to do there. I do have the crit stone on, alchemy stone on at the moment, just to show you the max crit. Attack speed's 20%, movement speed 20%, AAL damage 50%, Lebrev 50%, and an AHIB is at 33%. My alchemy, or not my alchemy stone, my relic, my one yellow relic is only giving me 10% branch damage at the moment. Unfortunately, once I have an orange relic in there, I will have then 43% AHIB, and then I can move around some of my gems and chance a little bit and maximize that to get that to 50, and then I will have all three at 50%. Before I go over my gear, let's talk about the gear that you want to go for in order if you're a newer player. To start off, you want to make sure you go for yellow Gruntle 2 slot. After that, you want to go for orange 1 slot. That is an upgrade over orange or yellow Gruntle 2 slot. After that, orange 2 slot. Then you want to go for Gruntle 2 slot. Then Gin Gruntle 3 slot. And that's as far as you can get to as free to play with terrible RNG. Because then after that is the red 2 slot, which is the best option at the moment until pink gear comes. For main and offhand, it's the same situation. You want to go with the yellow 2 slot, then the orange 1 slot, orange 2 slot, then your Liberto or Rosar, depends on which main or offhand, and then the Gin, Liberto, or Rosar, and then your red gear as well. So that's, if you're a new player, that's the order of the gear that you want to go. My gear I'm currently rocking is the Gin Liberto Scathe. I do have the plus 11 enchant at a max of plus 13, I believe, for attack, and then plus 10. The bottom 2 enchants, I just went until I got above plus 20, and I got a plus 25 and plus 29. So that's pretty good for at the moment. It's not max, but that's good enough for me at the moment. For my crystals on this bad boy, I have a plus 9 attack and a 4 AAL branch damage. The mid one is plus 8 attack. The AHIB branch damage is the worst you can get for that crystal, so that would be the next one I swap out when I get another orange one. The next one is the attack plus 8 AHIB damage, 3.75%. So that is for my main hand weapon. The only other option I have from this is a red weapon, so I can continue to roll a Chaka 2 for that, or hope for a world drop. Good luck. Up next is the offhand. I have the Jin Rosar Soul Orb. Again, the defense plus 10 for the first enchant, I would like to swap that out for an attack plus 10. I will continue to roll that until I get that, because you do want AP over DP for this class. For for crystals, I do have the first crystal attack in Lebrev 3.75. Second one's attack 8 and AHIB 3.5. Third one is attack 9 and AAL 4%. My helmet is sitting at Lebrev branch damages. Now the choices for enchants on the helmet, we'll just stick to here. This is a little bit better of an option. The enchants for the helmet are here. I'm already capped on AAL. I wasn't on Lebrev, so I needed that. I'm capped on crit. I'm capped on attack speed. Now down the road, once I get capped more on Lebrev, I can actually switch these enchants over to HP to help for some survivability. And then for the bottom enchants, obviously the top one is attack and the bottom one is defense. There's nothing you can do with that. For the crystals, I got 2 orange ones on here, attack plus 10 and AEL damage 4.25. It's not the best for branch damage, but it is better than yellows. And then defense plus 9, Lebrev damage 4.5. It is defense, but I did keep it because it did have that Lebrev damage on it. My chest is the Jin Gruntle armor, plus 10 defense, plus 12 defense, and then the 2 enchants on the bottom is attack plus 23 and a defense plus 26. This is the only opportunity where you could get away with swapping out your enchants. So let's go to enchants real quick for that chest piece. So the enchant options for here is Serret, Ahib, crit hit damage, move speed, and defense. So the best options here is defense, or if your crit hit damage isn't maxed, you could get away with crit hit damage. You could get that capped at 5.4%. If you do that times 2, that's almost 11% crit hit damage out of that bad boy. And you lose out on 26 DP, possibly. So that is worth it if you wanted to go that route. I do like CP still, but that is a great option if you want to focus more on damage, total output damage. For gloves, I have Ahib 2.5% and then Ahib 2.2%. The enchantment options here is max HP plus 20, attack speed 1.5, AL 1%, and Ahib damage 1%. I got my AL max, so I just went to Ahib on these. Once Ahib gets max and I have extra, I would then swap to max HP. For boots, I have Lebrev and Lebrev. Enchantments, I have the choice between movement speed, crit, Serret, and Lebrev, and MP. Once Lebrev's maxed, I mean, really everything else is going to be maxed here. So if everything gets maxed, your only other option is MP, unfortunately. For crystals on those two, I know I didn't cover those. For crystals, I have a defense plus 8 and Lebrev damage 4%, attack plus 9, Lebrev damage 4%, and attack plus 10, Lebrev damage 4.7%. For the boots, I have attack plus 9, Lebrev 4, attack 10, AL 4.75, and then defense 8, Lebrev 4%. That is the crystals in the enchants that I currently have on my gear. Up next, we're going to talk about accessory enchants. So the enchant list for the ring is a decent amount. It's all the branch damages, attack speed, MP, defense, and max HP. Best option there is defense. You could get away with branch damages. I still like DP as the best option for those because your branch damages are going to be maxed through crystals and through other options. So defense on both of those, and then the only 2 options for the bottom 2 enchants is attack and DP. I don't have the essence, it's just super expensive. I didn't expect them to come out with the Accessory Awakening so soon, so I didn't have the essence stockpile to enchant these bad boys. I'm sure some of you guys out there are like that. Anyways, up next is the enchantment list for the necklace is all branch damages again, crit hit damage, AP, crit chance, and max HP. I like attack best, even though there's crit hit damage in that as an option. I still like attack best because it is AP and it is CP overall, so it's just going to help you better. For both of those options, and then the bottom 2, obviously the same scenario down there. Option list for this, again, you want to go for AP on the belt. For the enchantment list, they have all branch damages for all these. You're going to want to go for AP again on the earrings. And then lastly, you're going to want to go for DP on the ring. Or the belt. The ring. That's the belt. That's the bracelet. On the bracelet, it's so confusing. That Giant's ring says ring, but it's a bracelet. I knew that. You want to go for DP on this. There is crit hit damage as an option there. Again, that is a good option for that if you're not maxed on crit hit damage. Alright, so that's gear, weapons, and accessories. For relics, you want to go for the relics that always give the best AP and DP combo. Again, CP is best, so you want that combo when possible. I know relics are hard. This is the only orange one I've got. Luckily, it was the combo of 43 and 43 as opposed to higher AP or higher DP. And then the yellow one I have only leveled up twice. The AAL one gives 27 AP and 25 DP. For my Alchemy Stones, so I have a couple options here for Alchemy Stones. I do have the Sushi Destructive Enhanced Alchemy Stone, 53 AP, 53 DP. Black Spirit skill damage 25%, and then gear enhancement level plus 3. I do use that one. It depends on the scenario. If I'm doing PvP, I'm using the Savage Stone of Victory, which is PvP damage dealt 20%, PvP damage received negative 20%. If I'm killing monsters sometimes, or at the beginning of boss rushes, I get away with using the damage against monsters plus 30%. For boss rushes, the boss themselves, I will swap to this bad boy, Brave Stone of the Conqueror, extra damage to bosses 50%. And then I also have the shiny Alchemy Stone down there at level 30 as well, which gives 10% extra drop rate. So it really depends on the scenario when I use these stones. PvP is obviously the Savage Stone of Victory. That one's for killing monsters at the beginning of boss rushes or in the open world. Brave Stone of the Conquerors for the bosses, and then that's for farming. So again, it just depends on the scenario and when I use them all. And then obviously I have the big one over there for the CP. So that is the Alchemy Stones. That's what I got. That's what I recommend getting if you don't have them. For Lightstones, I'm currently rocking all orange Lightstones. The better Lightstones are obviously the red ones. They are out now. I do have about 70k Lightstone fragments saved up. I am waiting for Haddam to come out before I use those. So until then, I will have orange ones, or until the 21st comes around when they drop those 4 red ones. I do focus on CP over CP over all stats on the Lightstones. That's what I got at the moment. Lebrev down there, and then Ahib down there with about 15 CP on each. I do like crit hit damage on these as well. This one's given 9.1%. If you had red Lightstones and they gave 3 of those, you're getting another crit hit, 30% crit hit damage, and that would cap you right there, for example. But you do want to go focus on CP on these bad boys. And then you also want to make sure you have the ones that have the highest, like Black Spirit skill damage plus 30%. You want to make sure that the percentage up there is the highest as well, plus the stats down below. As far as pets, beggars can't be choosers here, especially for us free-to-play. If you have options, I would go for AP and DP pets, AP being primary. I only have 2 pets at the moment that give AP or DP, and they both give DP. So this one's plus 30. And this one's plus 20, so I get more survivability. I do have another pet down here that gives me Field Silver drop rate. I just got that one from that new event. But that is the 2 pets that I have. If you have the options there, AP over DP. For Black Spirit skill, the first skill permanently increases crit chance by 3%. Black Spirit Rage level 20 does 906% damage times 4 per hit. It does grant super armor while using the skill and inflicts a bound on hit. It is a very nice skill. And then the Absorb skill strengthens yourself, increases your AP and DP by plus 60 for each for 30 seconds. So that's 120 CP increase. Before we get into the skills too in depth here, we're going to talk about the Shards of Darkness. Creates 1 Shard of Darkness every 10 seconds. You consume shards to apply the skill effect. There is a couple skills that have Shards of Darkness applied to them. For instance, Soul Spike. Shard of Darkness, if you use the shard, you start off with 3 and they accumulate every 10 seconds. You can also accumulate them through skills. Some skills do replenish them. Anyways, to use them, you would use it with one of the skills. It would use a shard. This one increases your AP by plus 60 for 10 seconds. Karshian's Wrath increases the range of the skill by 10%. And Soul Reaver heals you for 600 HP per hit. So those are the only 3 skills that have the Shard of Darkness tied to them. You do get 1 shard every 10 seconds, and there is some skills that replenish the shards. Alright, so for the skills, I'm not going to go over the skills too in depth. I'm just going to show you guys the setups here. This is the farming setup that I like. You could get away without putting the heal in there. It does take a little bit of time to cast a spell that could take away from farming if you're still one-shotting mobs, but it does add crit chance and AP, and it does heal you for a little bit, so if you're farming in a tougher area, you could get away with putting it on there. Other than that, I just like this setup. I don't like any other skills in this setup. I don't like Flesh Reaper. I don't like Fatal Cleave. I don't like Shadow Slash. It's a PvP skill. Nightmare, PvP skill. I don't like any of those skills. I like the skills you have down below. Death Circus, obviously. Soul Reaper, because it's your heal. It does take a long time to cast. I'm not a huge fan of that. but it is a heavy damaging skill and is your heal. And then we go to Soul Slicer because it has range. Karshan's Wrath has range. And then you have to have Soul Spike in just about every setup because it's your immunity period for all setups. But then it has that plus 60 attack that it increases when you go to the skill. 60 attack for 10 seconds. So that's very, very important. And it has medium range on the skill. And it also knocks back and knocks up the target. So it's very important. I like it. The reason it's important for farming is the 60 AP and the medium range on the skill, and it offers decent damage. For PvP, this is the setup I use. I'm not going to have any PvP videos. I will have a follow-up boss rush video on the Reaper for you guys, so make sure you stay tuned to check that out. But I'm not going to do any PvP content. Smithy just came out with a PvP Reaper video as of today. I believe this is his exact skill setup for that. If you're welcome to go over to his channel and check it out. It just came out today. This is the skill setup that I've been using as well. It might be slightly different. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks pretty similar. I do like, you obviously need your Shadow Slash to close the gap, and it offers your super armor and stun and invincibility, and you're only one of 2 immunities for the arenas. The second, and your bread and butter for the arenas, is really Soul Spike. It's your only immunity. It applies a knockback and a knockup, and it's decent damage and has medium range, and you get 2 charges of this skill. It's your bread and butter. You use this skill after you engage with the Shadow Slash, or you could use it after you engage with a Nightmare. Next up is Nightmare. A lot of people are confused exactly how the skill works. It's great for PvP as it stuns the target. It teleports you to the target and stuns the target. I don't know why that would be a bad skill, because then after you stun the target, you can then hit him with a Soul Reaver. As you can see in the combo, my bottom combo down there, I can then hit him with a Soul Reaver, which then knocks him down, which I can then hit him with other skills that have higher damage. I do have Karshan's Wrath. You definitely need this in most setups, as it is your highest, farthest range skill. Death Circus is important. Has a decent damage output, has a high damage output with max 20 hits, and it does apply that knock-up. No immunity in the arena, unfortunately. I do have Death Slice on here because of the Rift Slicer on here, just because it has good range as well. It doesn't offer a lot of damage. And then lastly is the heal, Slash and Rage. So that is for the PvP. And then for boss rushes, this is the setup I use. It's pretty similar. I have the Engage, and then Soul Spike, the Shadow Slash, and then Soul Spike, Soul Reaver, Death Circus, Karshan's Wrath. I do like to put Karshan's Wrath next to Rift Slicer because they're both ranged skills, so when I pop the one, I pop the other. And then the boss starts to get close to you, and then you can hit him with the Fatal Cleave on that third skill, and then I have the heal down there. The top ones are pretty obvious, Soul Reaver and Death Circus, Soul Spike, and Fatal or Shadow Slash. So that's the skills I use. As far as branch damages, let's go ahead and check those out. So this is the branch damages that I highly recommend. I recommend Soul Spike on AAL. I recommend Death Circus on AHIB. And then I recommend everything else being on Lebrev. Having AAL maxed at 50%. Lebrev maxed at 50%. AHIB ideally would be maxed at 50% as well, so that is something that I'm going to be going for, and if you can get there, by all means get there, because Death Circus is a very powerful skill, especially for farming. You know that's your spin to win skill, so you definitely want that at 50%. That's your best option there. So that's the skills. That's where I have them at. Let's take a look at the numbers and exactly what they look like for each branch damages. I can guarantee you these are the best options for each. So I did test every branch damage for all skills. I did test them multiple times. I did test Lebrev in a friendly arena match against another individual. All these tests were done with max branch damages and the same CP. So if I max the branch damage 50% Lebrev or AHIB or AAL, and then the same CP. So I didn't switch. That way it was the best and most accurate results. And the results are Fatal Cleave, the best branch damage is Lebrev. It does 9% higher damage than AHIB on average. Death Circus, AHIB is better than Seret. It does 10% higher damage on average. Soul Reaver, Lebrev is better. It does 6% higher damage than AAL if both are maxed on average. Rift Slicer, again, Lebrev over AAL, another 6% on average. Carson's Wrath is about 14% higher, having Lebrev over Serret. And in Soul Spike, AAL is about 6% better than AHIB. Those are tested. I did many tests, probably about 30 to 40 for each one of those to make sure it was as accurate as I could possibly get. It's not 100% accurate, but I mean, it's pretty telling. I mean, I'd venture to guess if anybody else went out there and tested those, they get the exact same results. That covers the full Reaper Guide. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you do, make sure you hit that like and leave a comment down below. Again, this is just my full guide. This is not the end-all be-all. This is not me saying this is the absolute best guaranteed. I will say that the branch damages are the best options for those, and this is just my recommendation for a lot of the different areas, whether it's weapons or alchemy stones, you name it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and with that being said, I will see you next time.